Hare's deceit, a lesson in pride and trust. Once upon a time, in a dense forest surrounded by tall trees and lush greenery, lived a hare named Swift and a tortoise named Steady. Swift was known throughout the forest for his speed, and he often bragged about it to anyone who would listen. Steady, on the other hand, was calm, patient, and slow but respected for his wisdom. One day, during a gathering of forest animals, Swift couldn't resist showing off again. "I'm the fastest creature in this forest," he boasted. "No one can ever beat me in a race, not even Steady here." Steady, who had heard enough of Swift's arrogance, replied, "Speed is not everything, Swift. Sometimes patience and consistency win the race." Feeling mocked, Swift's eyes gleamed with mischief. He had an idea. "Fine then," he said, "let's have a race. Steady, you and me, from the old oak tree to the riverbank. But don't worry, I'll make sure you win, if you can trust me." The animals were puzzled by Swift's unusual challenge. However, Steady, always trusting and humble, agreed to the race. On the day of the race, all the animals gathered to watch. The race began, and as expected, Swift dashed off, leaving Steady far behind. But Swift's plan wasn't just to win, it was to humiliate Steady. Halfway through the race, Swift slowed down, pretended to stumble, and said to Steady, "Oh no, I've hurt my leg. I can't go on like this. Why don't you go ahead, and I'll catch up later?" Steady, concerned for Swift's well-being, stopped and offered to help. "Don't worry," Swift insisted, "just keep going. I'll rest here and join you soon." Trusting Swift's words, Steady slowly continued his journey towards the finish line, but as soon as Steady was out of sight, Swift smirked and took a shortcut through the forest. With his quick feet, he reached the riverbank long before Steady. There, Swift pretended to sleep under a tree, acting as if he had just arrived and was resting. When Steady finally reached the finish line, exhausted but determined, Swift jumped up and said, "Oh, you're here. I guess I won after all. Better luck next time, Steady." Steady looked at Swift, realizing that something wasn't right, but said nothing. Instead, he smiled gently and replied, "Well, it seems you've won, Swift, but remember, winning by deceit doesn't make one truly victorious." The other animals, witnessing Swift's dishonest behavior, began to whisper among themselves. They had seen how Swift had taken the shortcut and how he had tricked Steady. Though Swift had crossed the finish line first, no one cheered for him. In the days that followed, the animals distanced themselves from Swift. His pride and deceit had cost him the respect of his peers. He had won the race but lost the trust of the entire forest. Meanwhile, Steady, with his calm nature and unwavering integrity, continued to earn the admiration of the animals. They understood that true success didn't come from trickery but from honesty, perseverance, and patience. Moral of the story: cheating might bring short-term success, but trust and integrity are far more valuable in the long run. This version adds an element of deceit and a deeper lesson about pride and trust, making the story more intriguing.